Faster than a fraudulent performance measure, stronger than a misplaced decimal point, able to leap complex compliance requirements at a single bound. It's Super Auditor! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Auditors Save the World, one audit project at a time, where we bring you thrilling tales of daring audits and brave financial reviews. Here, our heroes don't wear capes, but they do wield the power of empirical evidence. Brought to you by the pros at Yellowbook-CPE. In each episode, we interview those legendary auditors who have truly rescued the day. Stay tuned, listeners, because this is one story you won't want to miss. And folks, don't forget to subscribe to our show in your podcast app of choice. And now, here's your host, Lita Hart-Fanta.
Look, over in the audit office. Is it a consultant? Is it a compliance officer? No, it's Ty. Mild-mannered by day, but when accountability calls, he becomes the fearless defender of public interest in one of Texas's most well-run towns. With his ear to the ground and boots ready for two-stepping, Ty didn't just follow the audit trail, he blazed it. When no one else thought to ask the question, Ty did. When no one else saw the risk, Ty spotted it hiding in plain sight. And when city leaders needed real insight, they turned to our hero. He's smart, he's humble, and he's got a dance floor pivot that would make any line dancer weep with joy. Today, we bring you the story of a government watchdog who turned an overlooked objective into a vital safeguard for the city's critical data and infrastructure. Hold on to your hats, folks. Ty's on the floor.
I really enjoy dancing. That's for sure.
Yeah. So where do you go dancing?
So I go to different places. Unfortunately, a few of the dance halls here in College Station closed down.
That's happening around here too.
There's a new place that opened up in a city a little bit south of us in Navasota.
Uh-huh.
So Navasota is a little bit between here and Houston, and they have live country bands come through. And my wife and I, we have another couple that we go with, and we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun country dancing.
Have a little beer.
You go to this dance hall, and if you're not from Texas, it is 100% true Texas.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of fun. We also do other things. I don't know if you know this, but I used to teach at a dance studio.
Wow.
I used to teach some country western dance at a dance studio. That was a lot of fun. That's actually, I think, when my wife, that's how she fell in love with me. Is I was a dance instructor at that dance studio, and she started going. We went on a few dates before. And I think she was like thinking to herself, oh, this guy's an auditor. That's kind of boring. But he says he dances. I'm interested in that. So she started going to my dance classes, and she's like, whoa, this guy's a lot of fun. And it was pretty much history after that.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's really cool. That's really sweet. So you can do every dance.
Not every dance. I struggle with the Latin styles of dance.
Sure.
I can do them, but not very good.
Sure.
Some of the people, like I've gone to, some of these salsa clubs, and they are amazing.
Yeah.
I cannot keep up with them. They're really, really good. They're something to behold. But yeah, I like most styles of dance. My wife and I, we've been in the Nutcracker together.
Wow.
So this last year we were, I don't know if people here know the Nutcracker, but
I do.
There's a beginning scene where there's a party going on, and we were the host of that party.
Oh, neat. Sure.
Mr. and Mrs. Stahlbaum.
Yeah.
And Clara is the main character of the Nutcracker. So Clara was our daughter.
Yeah.
In the Nutcracker. So it was a lot of fun.
That is super fun. You are fun, Ty. You're very fun. For an auditor.
Oh, thanks.
For an auditor.
I have a lot of hobbies outside of just being an auditor, but I am very passionate about the profession. I've been in it my whole career. So.
Oh, your whole career. That's cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So since I don't know if you know this, but the way that I got into this career is I was in grad school, and one of my professors in grad school was Linus M. Knighton. And he taught government auditing course.
Wow, those are so rare.
It was Linus M. Knighton. He's the kind of considered the father of modern day performance auditing.
Yeah.
So the Knighton Award is named after him. Yeah. He was my professor in college, and I did a fellowship under him.
Oh,
So,
nice.
And one of the people, when I was doing this project, one of the people that I reached out to, this is when I was in grad school, was Mark Funkhauser. He was part of, so I reached out to Mark Funkhauser. I got a lot of information and stuff from him when I was in college. And then when I was looking for career opportunities, Professor Knighton put me in contact with Harriet Richardson.
Oh gosh, you are connected to everybody that's anybody, aren't you?
I told you like that Professor Knighton was one of my mentors.
Yeah.
So was Harriet Richardson. Funny thing is the way I got into the profession, I was so sold this is what I wanted to do, is I asked Professor Knighton, I said, do you know anybody in the Atlanta area? Because my family lived close to Atlanta.
Okay.
And I knew that after college, I wanted to kind of move closer to my mother and father. And he said, yeah. And he gave me Harriet's number. And during that Christmas vacation, I called her up and I introduced myself and I said, look, I'm really interested in this field. Can I take you out to lunch? And she said, sure. And sure enough, when I went to Atlanta to visit my folks during the Christmas holidays, I took her out to lunch, and the rest is history.
Harriet is an amazing contributor to our profession. She is over the top, the best. I think.
She is. She's absolutely incredible.
Well, what audit do you want to tell me about today, superhero? What's your favorite audit?
There are quite a few audits that we've worked here that are some of my favorites.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've been here in College Station now as the city auditor for 18 years.
Holy cow.
And we've done a lot of work in that time.
Yeah.
And I was the first auditor I established the office here. At the time I was working in Atlanta. I was a senior auditor at that time in Atlanta. And Leslie Ward was the city auditor at that time.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard that name.
Yeah. And I told her that I was going to take this job here. Mm-hmm. And I did not have that many years under me. And Leslie looked at me puzzled. And she puzzled and a little bit concerned. She said something to me at the time, and I'm going to leave this out. But basically, there was not a whole lot of confidence that I would be able to succeed, to put it lightly.
Oh, come on, Leslie.
Well,
okay, you were young, but whatever.
Well, I'll say I've tracked a lot of people over the years that have established audit shops.
Yeah.
And it is not an easy gig.
Yeah.
A lot of them end up not surviving. So I don't think Leslie's concerns were unwarranted.
Well, what do you think makes it so what makes it so they don't survive? What do you think it is? What are some of the factors?
Well, there's a number of factors. I gave a presentation at the Association of Local Government Auditors Conference a few years back on this topic.
Yeah.
I looked out to other audit shops. I mean, we have a sister city, a city that's right on our border in Bryan, Texas, and they had an auditor. They eliminated the audit function there. I looked at Lawrence, Kansas, of course, excellent city auditor that established the Lawrence, Kansas shop.
Yeah.
I actually talked to him at the last ALGA conference, and his name is Michael Ublinski, and he came from Kansas City, so under Mark Funkhauser in his shop. Really great auditor, was someone that believed in adding value to the organization, and just by the quality of work that they would want to keep him around. And they ended up eliminating his shop. And it wasn't because he was a bad auditor. He's an excellent auditor. It wasn't because the work wasn't good, because his work was excellent. It had to do with strategy. So sometimes we go too fast. You have someone that comes in, they're establishing an audit shop, and they want to do too much. They want to institute too much change all at once. And just having a new audit function is very, very difficult for management, sometimes for the elected officials.
Yeah.
It is a big, big change. And if you're trying to do too much at once, that can make a lot of people uncomfortable. Even publishing too many audit reports all at once. Like going in, you have to be careful. You have to be strategic. You have to build relationships. People have to be comfortable with who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And then they're less likely to come after you and attack you vehemently. And then I think one of the other important things is picking your moments to bring your shop up to best practices.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest things that we did is we got our charter amended. That is not an easy feat to do.
Right. Sure.
Previously in our charter, they could and this is often the case, is when you have these new audit functions, there's not a strong city or county charter that protects the audit function.
That's right.
And if 4 council members, if you have a council of 7, if the majority of council members want to get rid of the audit function, they can in most circumstances.
Yeah.
So, but if you have a charter that dictates that you can't do that without the vote of the citizens, then it makes it a little bit more difficult to get rid of the audit function. So when I came into this shop, of course, we didn't have that in our charter. But after time and picking the right moment, when we were already going to go forward with a charter amendment, we had several things that we were going to, that our city attorney was bringing forward for charter amendments. I said, this is the right time. And this is after years of being here at the city. And that was a key thing. There's doing things incrementally and not all at once, I think was one of the key success factors to making this a long-lasting audit function.
Yeah.
And at this moment in time, it would be, they could still get rid of me as the city auditor, but they cannot eliminate the audit function.
That's beautiful.
Nor would they want to. Like, the council loves the audit function. Our management now is very appreciative of the audit function. I have good buy-in from management, good buy-in from council, and especially good buy-in from the community and the public.
Yeah, I noticed that you had a acceptance video for your Knighton Award at the last ALGA conference, and you interviewed multiple folks in management, and they were all enthusiastic and genuinely happy for you to win the award and felt like you deserved it. I could really feel that appreciation coming through. That's really good. How'd you do that?
It didn't happen overnight.
Sure.
So this is years in the making.
Sure.
And some of that has to deal with really assessing risk and including management on that risk assessment.
Yeah.
A lot of times management, they know the areas that are high risk. And if you're doing work that's meaningful to them, then you're going to have buy-in. If you're doing work that just makes them look bad for the sake of making them look bad, then they're not going to like your audit function.
Well, give me an example of an audit that would be just to make them look bad. Like, what kind of things would you be like, no, I don't think we're going to do that? Doesn't add value, just is nitpicky, not very helpful.
A lot of audits. I see a lot of audits.
I know, but tell me some titles.
Geez, okay. It's an excellent question.
I know you're having a hard time not criticizing other.
Yeah, I'm trying not to bring out examples.
But in their case, it might actually be a good thing.
I'll use us because we've done this for sure.
Okay.
We've done audits that were not super meaningful. So actually this is the best example I could come up with. When management has already looked at something, they have already they have already done their own consultant work.
All right.
They have already there's a principle that this is actually covered in the IIA. They've come out with
assurance fatigue.
Yeah, so it's like so no, they come out with in their new 2024 standards talk about coordination.
Yeah.
Right. So there's this whole principle about looking at all the assurance practices, everything that is done throughout the entire organization, and assessing the level of reliance that you can have on those other assurance practices. You know, the most common one is the financial audit, but there's a bunch of other assurance things going on within an organization. So like a good example would be in our water department. We have TCEQ. It's the Texas Commission for Environmental Water Quality, something like that.
Environmental quality.
Yeah. So TCEQ does their own audits of certain aspects of our water department. If I came in and after TCEQ already has done their work and just basically did the same thing without even assessing the level of assurance that I could have on that previous work, that would just be adding more burden to management. And we've certainly done work like that. It's not necessarily that there was some assurance that had happened, but management may have looked into a certain issue or problem very extensively. They've already, they know it was a problem. And if we're just coming in right afterwards just to beat them up some more because of some issues they've had, and they're already making those corrective actions, they're already have had a consultant, or they've already had their own staff spend significant time trying to address a certain issue.
Yeah.
It is just, and then sometimes you have auditors that they'll come in and then it gets published in the paper on top of that when they're just getting through an issue, right? And that would be an example, I suppose. And
that's called pile it on.
Yeah, just pile it on. Let's
pile it on.
You know, and so
worthless.
Yeah, management doesn't feel like if you're doing that type of work, management's not going to have a lot of value in it. Plus, they may have spent a lot of money. They may have spent a lot of time.
Yeah, they might have
resources and effort.
Right. And you're second guessing them again after they've already thought about it. So what's an example of something where you feel like you did coordinate with management and gave them value with your work?
So, one of the things we really try to do is we try to really look at the key risks. One of the things that really, I'm gonna give you a long answer, but it's gonna get to the.
I got you.
It's gonna seem like I'm gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna get there. Trust me.
All right.
So, one of the things I thought that was interesting, recently, both the Association of Local Government Auditors and the Institute of Internal Auditors did a survey that came out really recently. And in that survey, it talked about key risks. And the top risks, top risks consistently in both was IT controls.
Yeah.
And cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so much so that the Institute of Internal Auditors, they've issued mandatory guidance
right
on cybersecurity.
Yeah. And the Green Book just came out, like I think it was 2 weeks ago. Heavy emphasis on cybersecurity and IT controls. Yeah.
But this is not a new thing. This has been going on for a long time. So this risk is getting higher and higher, especially with emerging technologies.
Right.
And how much. So we're used to be back in the day, we worried mostly about risk within the organization. And then we might worry about, vendors and stuff like that. Those external factors when we're talking about our audit universe. Now we have people attacking us from other countries.
Oh, yeah.
And so the risk is super high.
Right.
It's in this area. But one of the things that was very interesting about these two surveys that had the same finding, different methodologies, is how little work is being done in those areas. It is down at the bottom.
As far as the work.
So how much are we actually focusing in on these areas?
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough. It's a tough thing to do, but management, they know the challenge. They're aware of the risk. Sometimes they don't even know how to address it. If we can come in, we're really well positioned, I think, as internal auditors to come in and add value there.
Yeah.
To add value in our assessment of the work that's being done.
Yeah.
To actually add value in looking at these IT controls and cybersecurity risks and potential solutions going forward within our audit recommendations.
Yeah.
That is the area that when we started to do work in that area, you talk about buy-in for management.
Oh, gotcha.
That is the buy-in. When we're actually addressing significant risks and not shying away from those. And then when those risks actually fall within our core competencies as auditors, I mean, it's a home run waiting to happen in every single audit office.
Beautiful. So give me an example of a recent subject matter that you addressed. I guess you probably can't get super specific, although your reports are on the web, right? They're out there.
We do. So, but when it comes to cybersecurity, they're sensitive, and there's actual Texas law that addresses those. So we do the same thing that you see with many other internal audit shops, and we will have a memo that says, hey, we did this work, but we're not going to publish to everybody all the security risks that we have here in the city of College Station.
Right.
And so that work is being done. This is actually another great example because there are sometimes competing values within the profession. We have the value of transparency,
right?
But we also have the value of confidentiality, right?
Yeah.
So cybersecurity is a good example of where you have those competing values.
Sure.
But we've done other work. We've done work when it comes to our access controls within our information systems. That work is published online. We've done some IT security and IT asset management work. We have done, and we've certainly done some cybersecurity work.
Okay.
All of that work is either made available either in full or redacted form, or sometimes it's completely redacted.
Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So the report that you won a Knighton Award for,
that's the access controls. It's access controls in modern day ERP systems. Yeah, management. That is a piece of work that we're really proud of, and management was really thankful for. One of the things that when I talk about where we're best positioned to do this type of work, we really are. And the reason for that is when it comes to user access, it's going to be within, and sometimes a reasonable incentive for management to want to give their employees as much access as possible, because the focus is on efficiency.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be able to, especially when you come to like very critical processes like payroll, everybody wants to get paid. Nobody wants a hold up in payroll. And so there are certain employees where if you look at these certain applications, they probably have too much access, and they're going to have that incentive to have it. And then from IT, so you might say, oh, well, this is something that management should take responsibility for, and IT should take our information technology department should take responsibility for. But again, IT, all they're going to do is they're going to set up the user access based on the demands of the departments and management. And so they're not really well positioned to say no.
To push back. Yeah.
No, they're not. You need someone that's independent and objective to be able to say, no, we shouldn't have that level of access for everybody.
Yeah.
And our top level executives, they just don't know.
Yeah, they don't really know what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, and so to be able to tell them, this is the risk, this is what's going on, and deliver that to them in a way that is comprehensive, that is one of the things that is unique about that particular audit, is because we took a comprehensive approach. We looked at the user access across our entire information system.
Yeah.
We just didn't do it in the scope of a particular audit.
Yeah.
Like if we were to do an audit of payroll, we didn't just look at user access and payroll.
Yeah.
We looked at user access across the entire system.
So who did you appoint? Who did you recommend be the one that says no? Is there a one person that you're putting in charge of that, or is it per department that says no, you should not have access?
That's a great question. So we're doing, part of that is our recommendation. So we're going to,
okay.
This is an audit that we're doing annually now.
Oh.
So we're doing this every single year, and we'll be giving recommendations to the executives. It's actually addressed to the city manager's office.
Oh.
And the city manager will be able to, there's going to be a give and play between the city manager, who's going to be able to say, well, we're going to accept a certain level of risk.
Okay.
And us.
Oh.
Ultimately, it's like, we're going to give that recommendation to turn off certain user access. City manager is going to perhaps push back on that. And ultimately, it comes down to our audit committee of what level of risk they're willing to accept.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. So that's almost getting into the management function in a way, because you're going to do it every year, and you're going to identify, they're going to rely on you to identify where people don't have access, should not have access, because they don't have anybody on their side that's doing that.
No, they do.
Oh, they do.
IT controls it. IT does monitor it. We're not monitoring it. We are identifying risks within the user access profile.
Okay.
So it's not a management function, because management still has ownership over that.
Yeah.
But it's management it's up to management to actually push back on our recommendations.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean,
that is valuable.
Oh, yeah. 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 If you're doing really good cutting edge work, you need to be questioned. You need to you're trying to figure out how to best add value within the profession, right?
Right.
And you need to have these conversations with other professionals.
And now, a word from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by Yellowbook-CPE, the heroes behind the jumbo bundle of self-study courses. With a 1-year subscription, you get access to over 180 hours of top-notch CPE content. Dive into thrilling tales of agile, IT auditing, fraud, and internal controls. All courses carry NASBA's quality seal, so you know they've got the superpower of trustworthiness. Just click the link in the description to sign up. And now, back to our story.
I think the traditional approach that most auditors take is, when they do a specific audit, they might is the big word, look at IT controls.
Gotcha.
But to look at
all across the organization.
Role-based access controls across the entire system.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that done.
Now, how'd you come up with that idea?
Because it needs to be done.
Well,
it's like it's like one of those.
There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done, right?
Well, I think this is one that needs to be done more so than anything. We're talking about. You may think, oh, this is all internal role-based access controls. It's all internal. It plays into cybersecurity.
Sure.
If you have loose access controls amongst your staff, this doesn't just include like it includes people that are terminated and leave the system that still have access to the system.
Yeah,
like
crazy.
You have all kinds of vulnerabilities within your system if you're not doing this properly.
Yeah.
And there needs to be someone checking to make sure that management is doing this properly on a consistent basis and across the entire system. If someone transfers from one department to another, it's very common that they keep their current access.
Sure.
And then it transfers over, and then they have this broad access. They can, and you may think, oh, well, that's a risk that this one employee could commit fraud. No. When you have cyber criminals from another country that can get access to different employees' user profile, that is a risk that is not just internal, it's external. It is so far reaching.
Sure.
And because of that, the risk profile just rises up. And then once you realize that very few organizations have a handle on this, then it's got to be done. It just has to be. I was talking to a partner at Deloitte that does this particular work as a consultant. And I asked him, I was like, how many organizations, both private sector, public sector, have a good handle on having good role-based access controls? His answer, nobody.
Oh, oops.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so what are we doing? What are we spending our time on as internal auditors? What are we doing? I go back to those two surveys, both done by ALGA and done by the IAA. We are not spending near the time on this particular topic. The IAA knows it.
Well, there's a lot of, I would call it inbreeding. What a lot of audit shops will do is they'll just look at other audit shops' work and go, hey, that seems like a good idea. Let's replicate that, right? So you get the same kind of work over and over and over. So by you starting the ball rolling with this kind of work and winning the Knighton Award, that could generate more of this work occurring across the board. Because there is that tendency to look at other shops of your similar size and go, what are they doing? And doing the similar work, right? That's
the hope. I spent a little bit of time in my Knighton submittal, not because, it does mean something to the office to win a Knighton Award. I'm not saying that. But in this particular audit, it was important for me because I care about the profession that we need to start doing more of this work. So if that happens, I care more about that happening than about winning the Knighton Award. Yeah. But what you've done by winning the award is you've drawn attention to a subject that other people go, well, we could do that too, right? So I was at a conference for university auditors, and they had an FBI agent come in and describe how universities are a huge security risk for our country, that enemy states send students to the United States, and because universities are big about sharing technology, research, that they're basically sharing all of our secrets with enemy countries. And the FBI agent scared the heebie-jeebies out of me. But nobody in the university community is doing that kind of work. It takes somebody starting the ball rolling. That's what I told the FBI agent. You've got to talk one shop into doing it, somebody with some prestige, to show them that the work can be done. Because politically, that would not
be a happy thing for a university auditor to audit. That would go right up against the academic value.
What would be the topic? Can you better define what the audit would entail?
I don't even know what the topic would be, but it'd be about, I haven't thought that far, but what I do know is that we replicate each other. Auditors replicate each other. Like everybody's done a P card audit. Everybody's done a travel audit. Everybody's done a this audit and that audit. And we do them over and over. Looking at innovative topics is not the habit of a lot of audit shops. But what you've done is you've kind of broken the mold and done something that responded to a risk that you saw based on those surveys and based on your discussions with the Deloitte partner. That's, pretty innovative. So good job, man. You started the ball rolling is what I'm trying to make the point of.
Oh yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I hope so. But I'm all intrigued about this topic that you just raised up.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
As you know, I live in College Station, and that's home of the largest university in the entire nation, Texas A&M University.
Oh, you guys are the largest in the country now.
Yeah, by student population.
Oh my gosh.
At least the last time that I looked, that was the case. It's always changing.
At Texas A&M or all over the state? Because you're a system all over the state too.
No. I believe it's just at Texas A&M.
Is that right? That's
here,
amazing.
Just here in College Station. So this is and I know a lot of the A&M system auditors.
Yeah.
Like I just saw a bunch of them yesterday, in fact.
With Charlie and all those folks.
Well, Charlie's retired.
Oh, I didn't know he retired. Okay.
Yeah,
thanks.
he just retired.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, that is a really, I agree with you. That is a very high risk area.
Yeah.
And it would behoove, like that is really, when it comes down to it, if you just boil down the basics of what we do and how we add value, we give advice. That is it. We give advice. Why is our advice more valuable than other advice? Because it is an independent and objective.
Yep. Evidence-based.
We have standards that try to protect that independence, and we have values within the profession that should promote objectivity. That is what it boils down to.
Yep.
And we should be doing work that addresses the highest risk.
Yeah. That
is it. And if you identify in the university a high risk, which I believe you, that does sound like
it's huge. It's scary.
I would be scared too. So that's work that the A&M System Auditor's Office
should do.
They should be doing, if that's the case. And sometimes that we need to have integrity, that even if it is something difficult politically, that we still do it.
I know, but it takes what you were saying earlier, that support, that trust of management, because we started this conversation by saying, how do people get wiped off, right? How do internal audit shops not survive? And I got the real sense that crowd that was listening to that FBI agent was like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
You have to build your political capital.
Yeah.
Within your organization. Once you got to at this point, and you can wipe out your political capital, too.
With just one audit, right?
You can certainly. But if you have that built up, and you have good, like I said, it took a while to get us where we're at. Certainly I could lose my job, but at this point in my career, I'm fine with taking retirement if it means that it's doing something very meaningful to the organization. You got to love the organization that you work for.
Yeah.
You got to care about the people that you serve.
Yeah.
And you got to care about the integrity of the profession. If you have those things in place, you will have the courage to do the right thing.
Thank you, brave listeners, for joining us on this adventure. We appreciate your loyalty. Take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with all your audit allies. And don't miss out on Yellowbook-CPE's upcoming webinars. Because every superhero needs their training, and Yellowbook-CPE offers continuing education that's relevant, convenient, and as thrilling as the fight for justice. Until next time, audit on!